What's up YouTube, Mr. Lamessy here, and today I'm going to be bringing you an Amazon leveling guide. This is the guide that you're going to take to level your Amazon to get her to that end game where you can then respec her into the build that you want. I get this question often because so many people say, I see a guide and the guide tells me to do XYZ, but only once I'm level 75. And I'm very confused how I should level the character to get there. So we're going to talk through this really quickly. And what's the fastest way to level up your Amazon on your own or with a couple friends if they're not just like rushing you through to bail, right? So the first thing that we want to talk about with it is kind of the play style of it. We're going to start out with a exploding arrow slash Javazon that's using poison jabs, and then we're going to shift that into lightning fury, lightning strike, or charge strike kind of later on, right? So we'll get that big damage there from that. But of course, Lightning Fury is level 30. So right now I have the skills and stats completely unspec'd, and I'm just going to talk through how we're going to be leveling this as we go through, right? So we'll start out with the point and jab. I then save my next few points because there's nothing we want to get until poison javelin. So 1 in jab, 2, 3, 4, 5, Den of Evil, all that. Just save the points. After that, you're just going to be putting points into Poison Javelin. You'll also have a point in Power Strike if you would like to put it right here. You don't have to, though. You can just go pure Poison Jav. I kind of like 1 point right there, but totally fine to wait it if you would like. Nothing over here. And then a point in Fire Arrow, Magic Arrow, and Multi-Shot. So this is kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4, right, is going to go like that. That's going to be your leveling. From there, you're just going to keep boosting up your Poison Javelin, and then when you hit level 12, you're going to start putting points into Exploding Arrow, and just continue with your Exploding Arrow all the way up until you hit level 18. So I guess this will be, sorry, we'll do the point right here. This is if you don't want to do that first respec. You can take a Radamant skill point, put it into Lightning Bolt, and then at 18, you can start putting points into Charge Strike. And Charge Strike is just a fantastic skill. Just you're going to have that for like Act 3, because that's level 18 required. So around like Act 3 is when you're going to get Charge Strike and just stabbing dudes, and it's really going to speed you up and make you really strong. Now, once you get to Act 4, this is where you're then going to kind of make the decision of switching fully into Charge Strike. Because at that point, the fire damage from Exploding Arrow is no longer really that great. So Exploding Arrow is really solid in Acts 1, 2, 3, because you're just going to be hitting a lot of monsters. And it has the explosion, so the AoE's there. It always hits, which is nice. Very, very good. But once you get to Act 4, fire damage really drops off. So I like to just respec. And I go 1 point, 1 point, because the poison damage also falls off. 1 point, 1 point. And then you can go ahead and just start jamming your points into Charge Strike, as many as you can, and the rest of your points can go into Power Strike, right? So you can simply do that, and that is your first respec, where you're just putting all the points you can into Power Strike or Charge Strike, everything else into Power Strike. And then from there, you're just going to continue with Charge Strike, continue with Charge Strike, all the way. Anytime you get that bonus skill, just add it to Power Strike, right? Continue with Charge Strike, and you'll keep doing this until you get to about level 35. And the reason I say wait until level 35, 1, you should be around Nightmare, Den of Evil at that point, so that's when you'll be getting your secondary respec. But additionally, that's going to be when you're going to have the ability to really get enough points in Lightning Fury that it starts doing well. If you just try and kill with Lightning Fury on level 1, it just doesn't end up doing enough damage. You don't have enough Pierce as well to make it fully efficient. So I prefer to wait until about level 35. At level 35, I respec once more, and I go down this line. I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right in there because I would have that. I get my point there. But then I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to put a couple points, 4 or 5 points over into Pierce. And the reason I do this is because Pierce is going to be so much benefit to us. You could go like 3, 4 points in it if you want, but this is so beneficial for when you're using Lightning Fury. Then the rest of your points you can put into Charge Strike. You should be able to put 18 points at level 35. So you'll have your 18 points there. You'll have your 5 points here. Any bonus points you can kind of put into Lightning Bolt or Power Strike or, you know, Lightning Strike, whatever you want. They're all synergies for each other. And then you'll just go from there and you'll continue just pumping up Lightning Fury. And this is going to be for the rest of the game. You're just going to continue bumping Lightning Fury right here all the way through. And then at that point, you can, once this maxes, you can then, and that should be 49 at maxes, you can finish up Charge Strike, and then you can continue to put into other places. Additionally, at this point, or slightly before this point, if you want, you can get these points right here to get yourself a Valkyrie and start putting points into a Valkyrie. This is just going to help your character be a little bit stronger. So here, this character's level 64. She's got 20, 20, and 9 in Valkyrie, and that's going to help a lot. I can always just resummon her whenever she goes, gets in the way and starts dying. I just go, oh, okay, she's dead. Get another one out. Very, very helpful. So that's how I would skill this character. Now, how would I do the stats of this character? To start off, you just want to get up to 25 strength. I want to take off any plus strength gear I have because I want to make sure I'm showing that adequately. Where am I getting this strength from? Oh, there we go. So I just want to go to 25 strength. This is going to happen around level 10. So the first things I'm just going to do, and we can also take this off just for everything. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some points in Vitality. First 5, first 10, whatever, 15, just go in Vitality. I might do 5 points or so into Dexterity because I need 28 Dex to use a bow, Hunter's Bow. Get the 5 points there around level 10. This is so I can use a belt. And if we go over here and see, let's see if she's selling a belt. Nope. So sashes and light belts will get you 8 sockets in your belt, but a belt that you can buy from Charcy in Act 2 of Normal will be able to get you 12 sockets. So that's what we like. So you come over here and you just buy one of those belts, and now I have 12 sockets. So I like 25 strength for that. I don't really go over 25 strength unless I find an item such as Hisaris boots that I'm gonna, you know, put 30 strength in for or something. Other than that, everything else is just going into Vitality. I'm just pumping Vitality the entire way. The only thing that you can do, sorry, Farah, not Charcy. The only thing that you can do is you can actually put about 20 points or so into energy if you would like when you are using Exploding Arrow. So at level like 12, 13, 14, if you want to put some of those points into energy at that point, totally fine, because you're respecking again right there at like what, 21 we said. Roughly we're respecking when we hit Act 4, maybe a little bit, maybe like 24, 25. But we're respecking at that point, so we're going to take that energy out. Anyways, it's really just helpful because Exploding Arrow needs a little bit more mana. So yeah, other than that, we're just going Vitality. Then once we respec, I'm going to probably go a little bit more strength. I want to go at least 34 for Ancient's Pledge. So I'll put 34 strength so I can use a large shield with Ancient's Pledge in it. And sometimes I'll take it up to like 45, 50, 60 strength, depending on the gear that I find and if I think it would be worthwhile. I'm rarely going over 60 strength though, unless I get like Titan's Revenge or something that really seems worth it on the character. Dexterity, I'm also only boosting it for some gear. So there's some like throwing weapons where having a little bit more dexterity is going to be useful. And I can go and show maybe show like one of those. So like this right here, Throwing Spear of Readiness is 65 dexterity. So, you know, I might do that and get 65 dexterity so I can use these throwing spears right here, right? Just something very basic like that. Look around and see what all of those different harpoons and the throwing weapons are. This is where I'd probably end up with my stats. And then, like I said, everything else is just going into Vitality. And this is how I would end through Hell, with just everything like this, with maybe, like I say, a little more strength or dex or whatever, depending on the items that I find. So that's going to be statting for the character. Once again, if you do feel like you need more energy, feel free to add some points in energy. It's not end of the world. I know every single guide says 0 points in energy, not allowed. If you're leveling, you can put some points there. It'll help you out a little bit. Don't go crazy with it, but you know, it gives you a little extra mana, which can be helpful. Just, you'll respec at the very end. So yeah, 20 points in it, 15 points, 20, 25, whatever. That's totally fine. Now, beyond that, let's talk about gear. What sort of gear are we looking for in normal? What sort of gear are we looking for continuing forward? So the first thing is we're going to farm Countess. We're going to get the runes for stealth. Talon Eth rune. I also love Tear runes. Nephtir itself makes Nadir, which has Cloak of Shadows. I want to shop a 3 open socket bow. It can be 3 open sockets. It can be 2 open sockets. I kind of want both because I also want, you know, maybe to run a Zephyr or something. Both are all fine. If I do get this 3 open socket or 2 open socket bow, when I'm using Exploding Arrow, I'm actually going to take these rubies and just fill it with rubies. Chipped rubies, flawed rubies, rubies, whatever it is, it's going to add to the fire damage of the explosion and help your Exploding Arrow a lot. So that's a nice little fun tip. Additionally, you're just going to get a random belt. If you can find something like Hisaris boots, wear Hisaris boots. If you get some 10 faster run walk boots or some boots with nice res or whatever, wear those. If you get some gloves like Blood Fist, that would be a fantastic glove to find early on. Anything with IAS is fantastic, but otherwise, things that have resistances and all of that stuff is just really nice. So here's kind of stuff that you might be looking for early on, right? Stealth, Nadir, Ancient's Pledge, you make in Act 5. You can buy a 3 open socket shield from Farah in Act 2. Just take it there and then get the runes from saving the barbarians. They'll give you Ralort and Tal. An amulet with life and resistance is really nice. I just got some rare javelins. They're fine. They got a little res, a little cold, a little mac, you know, whatever. They're not crazy, but they're okay. Most of my damage is going to be coming from Charge Strike. So that's where I'm really going to focus. So this is kind of some nice stuff. And then like, here's some rings. These rings are better than what you'll find, but resistance, strength, life, max damage. Resistance is 14 to strength, half freeze duration. These are just like some nice things that you can have. Then when we get to Nightmare, we might get something like Sanders Taboo, right? Gives us some life and IAS. Rhyme Shield. This can be gotten at Nightmare Countess. Shale and Eth has Cannot Be Frozen. Very important for the character. You will probably want to get this Rhyme Shield from Nightmare Countess. A Lore Helm. Ort Soul, once again, Countess runes, 1 skills, lightning res, energy, all of that stuff. So we could do that. A belt that's just big on life. You can literally just shop this from Charcy or whatever it is. So just look for Belts of the Whale, and you can just shop those and put those on. Peace Rune Word gives us +2 to skills, gives us chance to cast level 15 Valkyrie, chance for slow missile, blah, blah, blah. The +2 to skills is very nice for this character. You can shop some spears that have increased attack speed. They'll go up to 40% increased attack speed, depending what level you are when you shop them. So finding some 10, 20, 30s, 40s, whatever, getting faster attack speeds, very nice because once again, the speed of our hits is more damage for us since we have the Lightning Fury and Charge Strike, and our damage comes from that. Some faster run walk boots. Obviously, if we have Hisaris, we just like keep these, but you can just shop some random boots with faster run walk, find some with resistance, all that stuff. This would be like a mega ultra rare belt that you could find. That would be amazing. You're probably not going to find something like this, but if you did, that would be a great belt to put on because, hey, we get strength, life, res, all those good things. And then you're going to be looking for this lower resist wand right here because this is just going to go in your offhand. And then whenever you come across monsters that are going to be lightning immune, so let me just go really fast and go to the Cold Plains, see if we can find some lightning immunes. Where's going to be good lightning immunes? Whatever it is, but you run around, you find some lightning immune monsters. I should have gone to Act 2, actually. Oh, there we go. You can do this. You can use on your weapon swap. You can lower res, and now I can actually hit those monsters and do damage to the Tainteds, right? So just a fun little like quick tip and quick easy way to have it is you can just have that right there to lower the resistances because lightning immunes generally are going to be able to be broken. Not all the time, but a lot of times. And then you're also going to want a teleport staff, and this is a staff that has teleport charges so that your Amazon can teleport. This is useful for getting over walls, getting out of weird areas, getting past monsters, whatever it is, right? All of those things. So this you can shop in Act 3 and beyond of normal. One of my favorite places to shop it is Act 2 in Nightmare. And that's because if you go here, and let's see if we can just get the map really quickly. Oh. If you get the map that exits out to the top right, then you can just shop really quickly off of Drognin right there. So you just come over here.
Welcome back.
You look for teleport charges on a wand. So you're just looking at the bottom of the wand for the charges. That's frozen orb charges right there. If you don't get it, you run out here and then you run back in. And you can just do this and then just have, you know, a couple 100,000 gold and just look and try and see if you can find it. So that's pretty much how you're just going to be shopping and getting that sort of gear. And honestly, this sort of gear can take you all the way through the game. And it's just going to be slight increases if you want it, right? If you want better gear, you can go and you can spend time on Mephisto, leveling or gearing up, getting cooler things from him. You can get yourself, maybe some Titans. You can get yourself maybe some better rings and belts. You can get yourself a better pair of boots than this. You could get yourself maybe a better amulet, right? Maybe you find like this amulet. Oh, big strength, life, and resistances. That's amazing. Perfect. Now it's even better for my character. So all of these things you're going to be just kind of grabbing as you go along and picking up and gearing up your character. And you'll just continue with Lightning Fury, Charge Strike, and then whatever synergies you want. And then, of course, if you want to have the Valkyrie, you can go from there. So that pretty much covers the leveling guide for this character. I'll have a sheet as well. That'll be easy for you guys to kind of follow along with. Overall, I think this character is more of a difficult character to play, especially in like hardcore, simply because she has slow, faster hit recovery. She has slow, faster cast rate, or just cast rate. Like her frames are kind of slow for those things. And she's a little bit of a glass cannon. That being said, she's still insanely powerful and insanely strong, but you will definitely have difficulty in Act 3 of Hell. I promise you, this is where having a Valkyrie to help you through or something, a friend, is very, very useful. So that's where you'll probably find your most difficulty of this character. Otherwise, I hope you have fun. Great character to go kill some cows with and just mess around and have a great time. And yeah, hope this was helpful. Peace.